years as far as, each year coming to camp, and how have you tried to kind of add on to your game?
Just try to be more consistent. Honestly, it's been cool to be in the system for a few years now, getting to work the same stuff, just kind of mastering all the techniques and everything that we do. But consistency has really been the biggest thing for me this year, just trying to stay consistent with my training, my recovery, and then also just on the field, just trying to make sure, learning from my mistakes and then, capitalizing on the things that I do well.
You can tell sometimes when a guy switches numbers, whether he's physically different from year to year, but you seem slimmer and quicker than maybe you've been in the past. Are we seeing that correctly?
I have been hearing that the number's a little deceiving. People aren't used to it. They're used to that 59. I feel better. Honestly, I feel like I'm moving better. I feel more in shape. That was a big focus for me. I'm really the same weight, but I feel like I have a better build right now than I have in the past. And, I'm glad that it looks that way because it feels that way for sure.
This off-season training, I saw somewhere with Fred and Demetrius, right?
Yeah, so we stay here in the summer with.
What did you take from them as far as their preparation?
I mean, I'm used to how they prepare. So with them, the word consistency I've been repeating over and over again. That's really the biggest thing with them. That's why they've had such big success here, and that's why they've been able to stay here as mainstays of this organization. And I realized that obviously last year I wanted something to change, and I knew that if I stayed back and trained with them, Dre's here in the off seasons as well. It really helped me kind of see what it takes from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. whenever we're in and out in those training days, how much really goes in, and, just kind of following after their lead.
First, your play recognition stands out. I mean, you're really recognizing the plays quickly and moving fast. Is that film study, or is that being in this defense for a number of years? Where does that come from?
It's a number of things. You hit on it, film study, obviously, but really it's just being in this system and gaining the confidence, honestly. This is the most confident I've felt since I've been here, and that's testament to Johnny and the other backers, like I said, helping me get prepared and get to that point. But I just feel really comfortable right now diagnosing stuff and also just taking the chances and shooting gaps, like you said. That's one thing I've struggled with in the past is play recognition, almost looking like I'm hesitating a little bit, and that's just the one thing that I have really been trying to work on this offseason and this preseason.
Have you learned anything on the kick coverage stuff in the preseason and how it's gone, or is it going to take until the regular season to sort of?
It's definitely a work in progress. It's something that none of us are used to. Only the guys that come from, I think, the USFL and the XFL have really done it before. We've been working a lot of just technical stuff and a lot of technique to try and win one-on-one matchups, but scheme-wise, it's really is a work in progress. We're learning as we go. Leverage is the biggest thing for us, honestly. That returner is going to have to make a decision at one point, and if you're playing your leverage, especially to the front side of that return, usually good things are going to happen.
When you get to the regular season, teams might be hiding some stuff. There could be some unknown, some things you haven't seen before that you're going to have to deal with.
I feel that's a general tendency in the preseason. You're obviously not going to show your complete hand. But I think in years past, we know from kickoff return, there's only so much that you can do. Obviously, reverses are going to be the biggest thing that we're probably not seeing right now that are going to come up. And that's just the same thing. Testing someone's leverage on the backside. If people are crashing in, not holding their leverage, not playing discipline, I think that's the one thing you'll probably see early on in the regular season. But I think a lot of teams are just going to try to focus on hitting it downhill and getting good field position to start.
I think some people in your position would probably be looking for going to go somewhere else. Let's see, if I have a better chance somewhere else. This is your third training camp, fourth year with the team. Why the 49ers? Why do you keep coming back? Why are you devoted to make this happen here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I really recognize that this is a special place. It's a really special organization, and I've been grateful enough to be here for as long as I have and learn under the guys that I have. And it's like you said, it's not always the easiest thing to not play and to be practice squad over active roster. But for me, I personally believe I've needed a lot of development in order to actually be prepared to play and do substantial things in this league. And that's really been my focus, just trying to control what I can as far as the work. And hasn't really shown up on the field yet, but I'm just, like I said, trying to keep my head down, and whatever happens, happens, but I feel good about the work that I put in.
You sound like you've done a quite a bit of self-reflection. Has there been something along the way here, a frustration level or something else that has kind of got you to this point where you're like, hey, I need to focus in on this so that I can, like you say, achieve the goals that you want to reach?
Yeah, I mean, I've been humbled a decent amount in my time in the league. I wasn't necessarily completely prepared. I don't think I did enough when I first came in as an undrafted rookie in Denver, and that kind of showed. And even when I came here, I was rudely awakened to see what it's really like. Like the guys, like I said, I'm blessed because of how special that linebacker group is. When I first got here, we had Aziz, we had Dre, Fred, obviously. They were a little bit younger, but they were already seasoned in what they did, and I saw a difference. I'd never been around a group like that, so for me, I realized I was very behind the eight ball in my personal opinion, and I wanted to be a part of that group really bad. And that's still how I feel. And so that's kind of just where my head's been at every year. I try to just take a step back and see how have I developed, but also how can I continue to develop. And I think that it's really helped me out, and I have good people behind me, good people, I have a good support system at home. So self-reflection is big for me, and I think just every year it's just kind of trying to chug forward and continue finding a way to get better at something.
How difficult is it to kind of get to that point where you're looking at yourself rather than like, oh, they're doing me wrong, or, you know, whatever kind of excuses that could be out there?
I mean, it's easy to fall back on excuses, but for me personally, I know that if I can control what I can control, everything else will take care of itself. I think it kind of shows that way. Things don't always go your way, and that's just kind of how the world works. And like I said, I've been humbled multiple times, so it's nothing that's new to me. But like I said, I have a bunch of great people in this building, not just in the linebacker room, that have shown me that if you put the work in, things will come to fruition more often than not.
You were in line, I think, to play in that NFC Championship game if Warren Burks was kept out, I think, with a knee injury. It was almost like a game-time decision where they played him instead of you. Was that a hard moment to swallow, or did it fuel you through this offseason?
Yeah, it was difficult. I was obviously super excited. Those are moments that you dream of as a kid. You know, playing in a championship game with those types of stipulations, trying to go to the Super Bowl, I was very excited. But at the end of the day, Warren was ready, you know, and that's just kind of, I knew going in that was the case. So it wasn't like it was a surprise to me. But again, fuel, sure, but for me, I'm fueled more so by just my personal aspirations, not necessarily how things have happened over the past.
The room you guys are in right now, really talented. You guys probably watched that Saints film. What's Johnny saying about Jalen and Tatum and some of these young kids that they were balling the other night?
Yeah, like I said, I've said it before, Johnny's the ultimate positive coach, which I love. Honestly, he coaches us hard, but he makes sure to find a positive spin and a way to really deal with positive reinforcement to everybody. But Tatum and Jalen are doing amazing. All the young guys, D as well, has had an amazing camp. Obviously, he didn't play this week, but he's been doing great. It's really cool to see their progression, especially Tatum as a rookie. It's really hard to come into this system and show that much flash as a rookie, and it's just a testament to him and his skill and how much raw talent he has. But, you know, Johnny has nothing but good things to say about everybody. I'm proud of Jalen, too. He's worked really hard to develop, and it's shown on the field, in my opinion. Thanks, guys.
Development, learning the offense, learning everything that's being asked.
I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Every day is like another step towards learning something new, especially in this offense, difficult offense, just to like kind of jump in and learn for your first time. So just taking it day by day, learning the playbook. There's still little details within every play that I need to get better at, so just doing that.
When you were drafted, it seemed like, you know, that the starting five was already out there. Now with the injuries in front of you, the number of reps you've gotten, the amount of time in the preseason games, can you kind of wrap your mind around that you could be out there Monday night against the Jets?
Yeah, it's definitely at the back of my head, but at the same time, it's still, you got to go play Vegas on Friday, so just kind of just taking it day by day. That's kind of how I've done things my whole life, especially with football. So I mean, I'm not looking too far ahead because I know that can get you in trouble to where you are now. So yeah.
In that first preseason game, you seemed like you kind of almost picked up Mason and kind of threw him across the line.
Yeah.
What did you see on that play? And is that kind of the job of an offensive lineman? You got to just kind of be prepared to help out any way you can, huh?
Yeah. So I mean, just pushing the pile is like a lineman thing, I think. It's also just fun to do because like anytime you're on the 1 yard line or your running back's on the 1 yard line, I mean, you don't want to you don't have to get up and run another play, so you might as well just go try and push the pile and get him in now. I just pulled around. Got the linebacker out the way, and I just saw him. He was just kind of stood up at the 1 yard line, and I was like, I mean, why not? Just go try and score now. So, yeah.
Did you come here with the goal of being a week one starter, or did you even let that enter your mind?
I didn't let that enter my mind. I just thought Just attack every day like it can, like I know I can. It's kind of like a repeated like thing that I keep saying, but like just taking it day by day. Obviously, like I don't have the experience that all these other guys have, so I mean I'm kind of at a disadvantage there. So just using these preseason games, like the reps in practice, just getting to know the guys that I'm playing next to, because you never know who it'll be. So yeah, I'm just using all that day by day.
The guys that have been in that position before you that are hurt, Spencer and Feliciano, have they been helpful in terms of guiding you along?
Yeah, they've been super helpful. Spence, when I would come off the sideline, I would ask him all the questions in the world. He'll come up to me and tell me things that he thinks I could work on. So he's been super helpful in that way, because obviously that's something that he doesn't even have to do. And I know a lot of guys, or I've seen on other teams like positions, they'll kind of not mentor the young guy just because, I mean, it's just a difficult thing to do. But Spence and John, they've been super helpful with me. When we watch film, they always help me out because they know all the little details. They have all the experience that I don't have. So, I mean, anything they tell me, I'm listening for sure.
Just talking about how different college offensive line play is in the pros. Just how has that process been for you adjusting to
going against the NFL guys now?
Or just in terms of the style, like how you, not just the guys you're going up against, but just the way you play offensive line, just the way you block, the way.
How has it changed?
How's the process been for you?
Oh. So yeah, I just think the biggest thing going from college to the NFL is just the playbook. The more you know the playbook, the faster you can play. The more you know your technique, the less you question it. So for me, it's just like, can I hammer these things down every day at practice? Because there's still things I need to get down for sure, just like everybody else. But football's football. It doesn't change much. It's just like the more you know what you're doing, the more confident you are, the quicker you do it. So yeah.
Have you played right guard much before this year, and how long did it take you to feel comfortable?
No, I haven't played right guard.
How long did it take you to feel comfortable?
Oh, here? Probably like a week. Yeah.
You see brick by brick.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you what you heard Fred Warner say about you?
Yeah, it did, for sure. I mean, that's a crazy compliment from a heck of a player. All my friends and family obviously saw it too, and they were just sending it to me like, yo, this is crazy. But, yeah, I mean, that's just something like I'm going to look back on whenever I'm done with football, and I'm just like, wow, like, I mean, this guy is probably going to be a Hall of Famer, so the fact that he's saying that about me is really cool. Yeah, no, he always tells me good job in the locker room. Like, he'll tell me just keep stacking days, keep working. Being a rookie's tough, but you're doing a hell of a job, so he's awesome.
Are there defensive players that talk to you, give you advice? Do any of the defensive linemen give you tips or anything like that?
Yeah, it's mostly the D tackles, because the D tackles, they'll ask me and the other O-linemen questions just about how we'll block them if they do a certain move, or what they saw if they're giving something away in their stance. So it's really kind of like an iron sharpens iron thing. So, I mean, it's just like that's the kind of talk we have. And I'll ask them, like, if they beat me on a move, I'm like, did I flash my hand too soon? Did I lean? Like, what did you see there? And they're more than willing to talk to me because like we all have one ultimate goal at the end. So.
Did you do a pirouette? Oh, I'm sorry.
Different types of defensive tackles that you go against, really big guys like Elliott and sort of quicker guys like Kevin Gibbons. I mean, how's that been for you? And any one of those types more difficult to go against day to day?
I think all the D tackles here have their own game. Like you said, Givens is quick, but he can bowl, and obviously Hargraves, he can bowl too. He's crazy. Malik Collins gives you about everything in the bag, which I think has been probably the most helpful thing for me, just seeing someone like that, and then going against other guys like on game days. It's like I've seen everything they can give me. Obviously Jordan with the bull rush too, and KD. So this D tackle group gives you everything from bowl to speed to power to finesse. And I think that's the best thing for me because you practice against that every day. I mean, it just kind of makes everything else easier in the game.
Did we see you do a pirouette the other day in the one of those blocking schemes? Like you kind of flipped around. What was the talk in the room when they showed that play?
Oh no, it wasn't much talking. Are you talking about the spin?
Yeah, you got spun around.
Well, so yeah, I just jumped the three. I saw the end drop. I stepped on McKivit's foot, and I knew I was like. He's probably like anytime someone steps on my foot, there's no way I'm gonna get the block now. So like I stepped on his foot, I know I probably messed him up. So I was like, let me just try and see if I can help him out. and I did, but that was completely on my fault. Like, I stepped on his foot. It kind of hindered him from doing what he needed to do, so I just tried to make up for it.
How would you describe Chris Forster's coaching style and what you've learned from him since you've been?
Yeah, he's got an awesome coaching style. It's very straightforward. Like, he don't beat around the bush or nothing, which is the kind of coaching I think everybody needs. He'll tell you good job when you're doing good, but when you something you need to work on, he'll tell you no problem. So he just gives it to you straight up, but at the same time he teaches very well. He's patient with you. He just takes his time. He knows he's got a lot of experience too, obviously as a coach. So I mean, I like him. He does a lot for me. So
What's the most challenging aspect of playing guard as opposed to tackle?
just working with less space. I think tackle is harder in pass pro. Obviously, when you get the one-on-ones, you got all that space out there. I think run blocking is probably more of a harder job on the guard just because heavier dudes and you got less space to really create room and run off the ball. So I would say run blocking is probably a little bit harder.
Did you have to do anything in terms of, when you came here, you knew you were going to be a guard in terms of your body and just preparing for, like you say, those bigger bodies? Did you have to do anything different in your preparation for Kansas?
For my body? No, not really. So I played guard in 22 at Kansas, kind of with the same build as I played tackle in 23. So, I mean, I figured I'd be fine, just keep getting stronger and just kind of get a good anchor.
Jim Nagy, the Senior Bowl, Jim Nagy, said that you were about the only guy in this last draft that could play all 5 positions. What is it about you that people evaluate you where you could play every spot along the line?
I think I just have a good build for it, honestly. Just kind of like I'm not too tall where I can't go play center. I'm not too short to where I can't play tackle. I got kind of average arm length for both positions. But at the same time, I go back to Kansas. Just Scott Fuchs, my line coach, and Lance Leipold just cross-training me in different positions. I got to play center, guard, and tackle at Kansas. And it's probably the thing that's helped me out the most in the NFL is just being able to do so much because I understand they understood how much value it gives you in the NFL. And I didn't know it at the time, but obviously it just helps you out. The more you're able to do, it just makes it easier on decisions.
What do they call you, Dominick Puni, rookie? What do they call you?
Everything. Or Dominick Puni, Poondog, everything. Rookie, yeah, everything. So.
Do you have a favorite?
No, not yet. You guys do whatever you want. So, yep. Appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm.